Okay, if you are trying to install your Android emulator hypervisor for AMD or Intel processors, and you're running into this error where it says control service failed, and then at the bottom start service failed with error, and then it gives this number. This is likely because virtualization is not enabled in your BIOS. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is go ahead and enable virtualization, and then we should be able to come back and install this. So go ahead and reboot your computer. And at least for me, I have a Gigabyte motherboard, and this is different depending on what motherboard you have, but the concept is going to be the same. So reboot your computer and then hit delete a bunch of times, and it'll bring up your BIOS. So to get into your BIOS, you have to jam your delete key while the computer is coming up. And once it comes up, this is going to be different depending on what type of motherboard you have. But for me, with a Gigabyte motherboard, it's under advanced CPU settings. You should see something similar depending on what brand you have. So go into your advanced CPU settings. And then in there, you see here we have something called SVM mode. And then at the bottom, it says enable, disable CPU virtualization. So that's exactly what we want to do because we want to run a virtual phone on our CPU. So let's go ahead and change that from disabled to enabled. And that's all you have to do. Once you do that, make sure to go up and hit save. Definitely don't exit without saving because then it won't do any good. So save your configuration and reset yes, and you'll notice at the bottom here it says we modified it, and the only change that we made was changing it from SVM mode from disabled to enabled. Now that we've updated our settings in our BIOS for virtualization to enable that, we should be able to come into here, our device manager, and that new phone that we made, that example Pixel 5 API 33, just click the launch button, which is the triangle next to it. And there we have it. This emulator is working now. So hopefully this fixes your problem as well, and I'll see you in the next video.